Don't!
Q!
There are police all over the building. It's over.
It's far from over, Sharon.
Die Hard clones. Remember when these were 2 a penny? Well, we're going to be talking about a low budget version, which is Die Hard in a beauty pageant. Yes, No Contest. 1995, directed by Paul Lynch. And this one stars Shannon Tweed, Mrs. Jean Simmons. Now, she is an ex-martial arts kind of movie star. She is literally quoted on the by someone as being Bruce Lee with boobs. Yes, that's actually a line from the film. And she is presenting this kind of Miss Galaxy, Miss Universe type gala in this kind of hotel somewhere. And a group of armed criminals basically capture the contestants and essentially want to extort money from the father of one of the Miss America, I think it is, because he's this kind of like rich senator, etc. And you've got Andrew Dice Clay as the kind of the head bad guy, and his kind of number one henchman is the late great Rowdy Roddy Piper. You've also got Robert Davi on the outside as the kind of the bodyguard of one of the kind of the girls who is kind of got left out in the cold somewhat. But it's up to Shannon Tweed to take down the bad guys. Does she do it? Well, you have to watch the movie to find out. So, this was actually followed up in 1996 by Anna Nicole Smith's version of this type of thing with the movie Skyscraper. But Shannon Tweed got there first, the kind of the sexy female, Die Hard clone. And the interesting thing here is it wants to kind of like have a little bit of commentary on don't underestimate women and things like that. There's a couple of instances where, the women are the kind of the strong, we're strong women, etc. But there's also gratuitous like shower scenes where the camera will linger on Shannon Tweed's ample bosom and stuff like that. So it's not quite that feminist. Let's just say that. Yes, this is a very, very cheesy Die Hard clone. The most amusing things you'll see here are the absolutely awful stunt double that's kind of filling in for Shannon Tweed in her kind of like her more wide shots in regard to the action scenes. It looks like a bloke. I don't think they've got a female stunt woman. It's clearly a guy with like a blonde wig on. It's quite amusing. So the actual fight scenes are quite laughable at times. And when you think about it, this film has just got ridiculous plot point after ridiculous plot point. I mean, the actual goal is to extort money from the father of this kind of rich girl who's one of the entrants in this pageant. Why not just kidnap her? Why go for the whole, have all these variables in kind of taking over this building and stuff like that? It's a little silly. But there's just various things. One of the things I kind of liked about this movie was Shannon Tweed's kind of reactions to what's going on. Now, if you look at previous kind of Die Hard type clones, not maybe Die Hard itself, but things like Sudden Death or Under Siege, they all seem quite competent in what's going on. They rise to the challenge. But in Shannon Tweed's case, she's absolutely shitting her pants most of the time. There are a couple of occasions she'll have a badass kind of one-liner or something like that, which kind of goes into cheesy territory. But certainly initially, she's just like ping-ponging around and just kind of like barely hanging on by the edges of her teeth. So I kind of liked that she's clearly in way over her head, and she's set up as this kind of like martial arts master at the beginning of the movie, so we kind of meant to believe that she has this kind of somewhat combat experience and stuff like that. But they just, it's one of these things, tried and tested cliche things where you've got both the police and the bad guys will just stand in the center of a corridor and shoot, not try and evade any kind of, and just get shot. It's kind of one of those kind of like silly action 90s movies that you kind of got. It is quite fun, I've got to say, in a very cheesy way. It is quite fun, and seeing Shannon Tweed kind of run around and fist fight with Rowdy Roddy Piper, You know, that is the stuff that B-movie dreams are made of, let's be honest here. And I did quite like Roddy Piper in this role. It's nice to see him as a bad guy. And although he is one of the henchmen, he's kind of like the main henchman, I suppose. So he does actually get quite a lot of screen time, probably as much as Andrew Dice Clay as the kind of the lead bad guy, who I've got to say wasn't particularly threatening or convincing as the bad guy. And Robert Davi's character just seems to be on the periphery most of the time. If you look at the movie posters here, Shannon Tweed's hardly on it, but she is the main character. So that's kind of bizarre. It's very cheesy. It's kind of fun. It's ridiculously silly. Overall, I'd probably give this movie a 4 out of 10. But it is kind of fun if you like a good old Die Hard clone, but it's not a quality movie. 4 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Just leave me comments. And I shall look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.